A circus bought a monster and exhibited it to people. But David was alarmed when he saw that the snake man's eyes were human. He quickly left, wanting to tell his girl waiting outside, only to find her being harassed by a thug. David intervened, and a fight broke out as the thug refused to back down in front of the girl he loved. Despite the chaos, the police arrived just in time to stop the brawl. Back home, Doctor immediately checked David's condition and found him relatively unharmed, which relieved him. However, the thug, feeling aggrieved, sneaked to the girl's place, climbed her balcony, only to be caught by her pet python. Startled, the thug fell to the ground, and by the time David and the girl rushed there, the python had been killed by the thug. Seeing her beloved pet gone, the girl was heartbroken. The thug, realizing the trouble he was in, fled the scene quickly. Meanwhile, to avenge his daughter's python, the doctor retrieved a venomous black mamba from a box, put it in a briefcase, and went to the thug's house. While the thug was showering, Doctor tossed the mamba into his bathroom. The snake instantly bit the thug's leg, and with just a little venom, enough to kill 8 people, the thug collapsed in pain and died. Thinking the score was settled, Doctor returned home, only to find his house burglarized. He realized that his assistant David, whom he had raised for years, had betrayed him. To ensure his daughter's safety, Doctor forbade her from seeing David, claiming it was for her own good. When his daughter questioned him, Doctor almost let slip the truth but managed to divert her attention by giving her a task to fetch goods from out of town. Once his daughter was safely away, Doctor confronted David about his mutation and deceived him into drinking a potion. Actually, it's a drug that accelerates mutation. In order to speed up the testing process, the doctor tricked him into taking a potion again. David wanted to go to the hospital for a checkup, but under the doctor's coaxing and deception, he was told that after this injection, he would be completely cured. As a college student, David surprisingly believed the doctor again, without noticing at all. The cat kept barking wildly at himself. At this moment, someone suddenly visited outside. The doctor instructed David to stay in the lab and not to go out, while he went out to greet the visitor. It turned out to be David's old teacher, Professor Carl. He came this time just to see how his student was doing here, but the doctor firmly refused to let him into his house. Knowing the doctor's eccentric temper, Professor Carl left with relief. But on the way, he felt more and more uneasy about this matter. So he parked his car on the main road and quietly returned to the doctor's house along a small path. Unfortunately, his whereabouts were discovered by the doctor. In order to prevent his experiment from being exposed, the doctor quickly grabbed a weight and ran outside, secretly followed behind Professor Carl. At this point, Professor Carl had already reached the window, ready to see his student. But he found that his face was actually evolving into a snake-like appearance, which shocked him instantly. At this moment, the doctor, who arrived suddenly, knocked him out. David only realized he had been deceived when he saw the scene, but now it was too late. He wanted to pick up the phone to call the police, but found that his body simply wouldn't obey.